Evening all, welcome to live news and demo news. Great weekend I've had. I was in Blackpool Saturday, sorry, and I went for the Children Unite and a PAG UK demonstration. There's loads of brilliant speakers up there. There's like Jimmy Yatt, John Lawrence, and Joseph Blair, Hunter Rihanna. There was quite a few really good top speakers up there, folks, and I still haven't really put most of the footage on yet of the speakers. But if you were watching my live, you would have seen most of it anyway. And then on Monday I went to London. Yeah, a bit of a scam, I think it was, to be honest with you, folks. We didn't go there to do what we wanted to go to do, and that was take back Parliament. And there was loads of distraction all through the day, and it just ruined the day, as far as I'm concerned. I got a little bit annoyed with the police in the middle of it, as you can guess. I didn't get arrested, mind, even though that I was pretty abusive to him. I think I was in my right. Like, I just wish it was more people like me standing up and doing what I was doing, like. Because at the end of the day, we should have been citizen arresting these police because they're not doing their job, and that's the way I look at it. Well, first of all, I'm going to start talking about the PCP Wales, because Shaun Morris isn't here at the moment yet. I'm sure he'll pop on in a minute. And I'm going to bring John Lawrence on if he's anywhere near. Yeah, John's in the background. But yeah, I'll carry on a little bit about Monday. I'd say about 5,000 to 10,000 people turned up, folks. Not too bad for a Monday. But if we want to change, and we want to change our government, we're going to need a hell of a lot more. And I thought there would have been a lot more there regarding the mandatory vaccines for the carers, because that's just the first step. They are going to push it for every single person to have it. And it's the same as the jab for the kids. Because come September, when the kids are 11 and above, they're not going to need the schools are not going to need the parents' consent. So looking at a lot of trouble ahead, where parents are going to lose their rights, and they're going to be vaccinated because they're going to be coerced into it. They're going to be pressurized by their friends, and it's going to get very nasty and very dark. I'm telling you that now. Like, I'm going to bring Shaun on now. I think you all know Shaun Morris by now. I'll bring Shaun on first, and we'll have a little chat, I think. Evening, Shaun.
Evening, brother. You'll have to excuse the sheep because I think I've come to feed them.
There's loads of those in London, mate.
Pardon?
There's loads of sheep in London, mate.
Well, yeah, there's millions of sheep around the country, mate, but these ones are wanting me to feed them. Go away. Leave me alone. Yes. Do I look like a bloody farmer? Sorry, right. They're off.
I'm glad you're enjoying the sunshine, mate.
It's killing me, mate. I've had to work really hard in the last couple of weeks, and this week is killing me in this heat. You know, physical work with the sun beating down on you for 8 hours a day is not good when you're my size, especially.
You're close to the sun.
Well, no, it ain't that, mate. It's the fact that I'm so tiny. Like, I can't afford to lose weight, which means if I'm sweating like a pig, I'm losing weight, which I can't afford to do. So, keeping myself hydrated and keeping my bit of weight on is a must.
So what have you been up to over the last weekend and that, Shaun?
Well, I didn't go off to London on Saturday or Monday. I went off to a meeting on Saturday, which, if I'm honest, was a bit disappointing in the sense of we didn't get the answers we were hoping for, you know, on ways forward. But that's life sometimes. So no, I mean, my opinion now of Saturdays is it's a waste of time wandering around having jolly days out in London on a bloody Saturday, and then when you come back, there's no result at the end of it, except for the fact that your wallet is a lot lighter, and you might have met some good people, obviously, which is the only good thing, I suppose, is you actually get to meet, you know, fellow fighters in this war, I suppose.
Yeah, I find it is the only reason I'm going to them anymore. It's just to spread awareness now, Sean. Because
Well,
on a Saturday, you can't achieve anything on a Saturday. To be honest with you, you can't.
well, no, it's a fact, Phil, that Saturdays they're not there for a start. The people who we need to hit are nowhere near the place. They're long gone. They're probably in the nice holiday homes, or out in the country playing golf or whatever, at the yachting clubs or whatever they do, and they're certainly not in London. And obviously, because we haven't got the media, and the media doesn't show any of what we're doing, no matter what we do. To me, it's a pointless exercise. And we need to move away from these bloody Saturday sort of jolly weekends out, as me and my friend John calls them, which is what they are. They have a nice jolly day out. They then go and have a party in the park. But at the end of the day, all the weekend, nothing's been achieved, and every issue and injustice is still carrying on regardless. And it was like Monday.
Oh, don't even go there,
Um,
mate.
Yeah, Monday, Boris announces on the very day that people are there to try and talk to the police that they're going to vaccinate you have to have a vaccine to go into a nightclub and pretty much any place where there's gatherings of people. So to me, he was taking the piss. He knew you guys were in London, and basically, you know, he took the piss. He said, "Fuck you lot, like this is what I think of you." So again, Monday, talking to the police, we're beyond talking to the police, in my view. We've tried that for the last 18 months. We've handed in, all the evidence has been handed in multiple times across the country to different police forces. Every police force in the country has probably been bloody notified. I mean, we did the South Wales in October 2019, when we did the Welsh Assembly. It made no difference. So again, the delusional thought that just talking to the police might achieve something is a bit, it's delusional, and it's not going to happen, is it? The police have clearly chosen their side, because if not, they would have come across 12 months ago, especially with all the evidence, which is clear to see now that this pandemic is exactly that. It's a pandemic. It's a scam. And we can all see that now, unless you're a complete bloody idiot. And I
Yeah,
presume,
Sean. The nightclub, Sean. They most of them are saying they're not going to comply, mate. But you're definitely right. Monday he was taking a piss. He even hid. He went to Checkers instead, mate. It's the same as the only people who were in. There was no politicians in Parliament. They all had a day off.
I told you they wouldn't be there. I said that when I did my video last Thursday night. The
Yeah,
problem is you warned them, you pre-warned them, and they were warned off on Friday. The police had actually told them, don't even bother going into Parliament on Monday, because they were expecting large numbers. Now, if you're going to have 2 or 3 million people converge on Parliament on a work day, they ain't going to be there, are they? There's no
yeah,
way they would have ever been there. So again, by pre-warning them, as always, let's tell the enemy what we're going to do and when we're going to be there and what we're going to do. Is it's stupid. No war has been won by pre-warning your enemy what you are going to do and when you're going to do it.
So how are we going to get around it then,
And
Sean?
they keep doing it. I don't make no sense. I mean, sometimes I have to question the leaders or so-called leaders of our movement. Pardon?
I said, how are we going to get
What's that,
around it
Phil?
then? I said, how are we going to get
Well, I've
around it
lost
then?
me, surely. Can you hear me, Phil?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know, Phil. I really don't know. I'm not sure that we can get round it without a full-on revolution. As I'm seeing it now, because the police are not going to do their jobs, and because the courts are complicit in the crimes against the people, um, I can't see any way around it, especially talking and expecting them to do the right thing and go back to the law. I mean, it's quite clear now, I think, to us all that they are not going to stop. They're going to keep steamrolling on. And they're going to completely ignore the treaties what are there to protect the people, because at the moment they're getting away with it with impunity, and there's no comeback to these people who are pushing this on, and they know that. They know that they've got the police in the pockets. They know they've got the courts on their side. They know that they've got the big bankers and the media on their side. And to be honest, I can't see a way around it except a full-on sort of all-out sort of revolution in a sense, and to dispose of these people, to remove them. I mean, Mark Section made it clear on his speech that he thinks we should citizens arrest these people. The
Yes.
problem you've got with citizens arrest is you have to have a police constable there on site to actually hand the criminal over to the police constable. And
No,
we
you
know,
no, you don't.
yeah, we've know by experience that as soon as you hand these people over to the constables, nothing will happen. So we can't even do that, really. So even citizens arresting isn't going to work for us, because where do we take them and what do we do with them once we've done that? Because those who are supposed to handle that side of things once it's done are not going to comply, are they? They're going to just dish it under the carpet like they did with the one we did. So
The, the, law,
I don't know what the answer is, brother.
the law with citizens arrest, right? You either take them to the nearest police station or you take them to a magistrate court. But can't we just take them to a common law court and then just do it our own way?
Yeah, Phil, but what happens once you get a guilty or a non-guilty verdict? What do you do with them then?
Well, this is it. We are going to be in major problems unless we get the police on side or we start citizens arrest the police. We have to take control, and I personally think the army should actually get involved for a few months. That's all I'm saying.
I think realistically, a military coup might be our only way of saving ourselves. But again, all the top brass of the military involved in this.
You probably are, mate.
That's the problem we've got. We cannot trust anybody in the sort of positions of power as such, and those who are controlling the police, the military, the media, the banking system. They're all in it together. It's a worldwide conspiracy against the normal everyday people. And unfortunately, they've got all the power and the glory. They've got all the tools to repress us and keep us down. And I'm just waiting for martial law to come for us guys who are resisting at the moment. Because, I mean, I was reading today that apparently 88% of all adults have now been vaccinated. Well, if that's true, that leaves 12% of us. Well, that's quite a small number if they want to come and round us up. And I do believe they will do that. I mean, I'm already making my escape plan to run to the hills with my missus, because, to be honest, I can't see another way. I think we're going to have to become, in a sense, resistance fighters, and we're going to have to do that from hideaways and that, like, and totally come out the system. I just don't know, Phil. I'm, you know, we sort of seem to be waiting on a miracle, and we all know that miracles don't happen. It's a fallacy. No one's going to come and save us, and that includes the military and the police and the courts. I don't think they are. So I'm not sure where we go from here, brother. I'm not.
Well, we're going to have to do something pretty quick, mate, because if we don't, we're going to get totally screwed over.
Well,
And,
we've
and
already been screwed over, Phil. We've been screwed over, brother, since the day we were born. Us who are in the know, obviously,
yeah,
the day your parents sign you over to a birth certificate, you've been screwed over without even realizing it. So you know that is the issue we've had. From every one of us have been screwed over since the day we were born, and you know, become a part of this planet, or plane, as my friend Wayne would say. Uh, you know, and it's a problem I'm not sure we can fix. I'm not sure we can fix it because the power against us is so great, and the compliance and the conforming to what they're pushing has been taken on by such mass numbers of normal everyday people, and they are already turning on people like us. You know, we've heard higher stories of people being attacked because they're not wearing a mask because they've not been vaccinated. You know, people started shunning people, and how long before communities start literally rounding up us unvaccinated, maskless people and kicking us out of our towns and cities and villages, and basically running us out of the areas. And I can see that happening with the way the media are sort of pushing things and saying you should shun your neighbours and your friends and even your family if they've not, you know, gone along. So I mean, that's a worrying situation for the future as well. Is that going to happen? Isn't that what happened with the Jewish people in
yeah,
mainland Europe?
yeah,
The friends and the neighbours turned against them and turned them in and shunned them and that like. I just see Nazi Germany all over again. That's what I'm seeing. And it's a frightening thought that this is real. It's actually happening. And I'm not asleep and I'm not having a nightmare. This is actually true life, and it's happening to this today at this very moment.
yeah, sure. Nat just said, right, and I've seen this a few times on the internet now and places like that. They're building prison towns.
Yeah, I've seen them. We've got the big one in Wellingborough, which is currently being built, and apparently there's 6 or 7 of them planned for the UK,
Yeah,
across the island. Well, we've had a guy drive round the one in Wellingborough, and it's huge. And they say that it's a prison, but what I see is a concentration camp. I see an internment camp. I don't see a prison. I see an internment camp. And whether they're going to round all us unvaccinated up and put us into these, like, basically slum cities and completely close us off from the rest of the population is anybody's guess. But I'm certainly not going to wait around for them to come knocking on my door to take me that way. You know, I will do a hop and a skip and a jump out into the sticks before that ever comes my way. That's for sure. But not everybody's going to have that opportunity. They won't even see it coming. A lot of people, and that's again, it's a frightening thought. Are they going to start interning us like they did with the Jewish people?
yeah. Well, I've got the same. I've got 2 bug out places already set up. Well, they're not set up, but they're easily to get to, and I'll certainly be disappearing very shortly as soon as I realise people are getting arrested and put into these camps.
Yeah, but we shouldn't have to do that, should we, brother? It's a sad state of affairs where normal, everyday, good men and women and children, because they choose not to take part in a medical experiment, which is what it is, that we are going to be shunned, castigated, and possibly imprisoned because of our choice of not taking part in a medical experience. And the fact that we're supposed to have protections to stop this happening, and again, they're completely ignoring all them treaties and protections what were put there to stop this kind of thing happening. And that's a worrying sign as well. That even though these protections are there, they're just pushing forward full steam ahead with no regard to the rule of law and the protections what were given us from birth, our alienable rights to live a free life without, being forced to take part in medical experience or have a different. You cannot have a different opinion to the main thought process these days. It's a frightening thought that the world has become like that, and the fact that so many countries has actually fell in line with it is also a frightening thought. If it was just isolated to one or two countries, it wouldn't be so bad, but it's not. It's a Western world problem. And every government, every councillor, they all seem to be quite happy to go this way and complicit in it. And that's a worrying thought as well. What the hell's gone on? Like, how's it come this far?
And these prisons, Shaun, a couple of people have mentioned it now, that they're actually being built next to crematoriums, and that's a bit worrying.
Well, I'm more worried about the prisons and the graves being next door to it. I mean, I'm not worried about that in a sense, because once you're in the prison, who knows what they're going to do to you. I mean, my view of it is you will be, if they do go that far and they actually go that way, I think they'll be looking at re-educating you, we'll say, into the people. Yeah, that's it. Brainwashing, basically. NK Ultra style shit. And your choice will be that you spend the rest of your life in the internment camp, or you toe the line, and we'll let you out to become become a good citizen for the good of the world. And that's how they'll sell it to you. I don't think they're going to be fucking mass exterminating you and all that kind of thing. I'm not sure about that, really. Well, yes, they did do it with the Jews, yeah, and many more despots around the world has done the same thing. You've only got to look at Rwanda and Cambodia and countries like that in the not too distant past to see that happens. But I'm not sure they're going to go that far. I think it'll be more likely that you'll be reprogrammed to be a good little boy and girl and do as you're told and follow the regime to the letter, or otherwise you'll be locked in there till the day you die, and probably hard labour will be the sort of thing, 16 hours a day working your tits off till you can't stand up, maybe. So I'm not so worried about the cemeteries. I think that is wishful thinking by some who seem to want that type of thing to come to pass. It seems to me some people are reveling in the fact that they want to try and murder fucking 7 billion of us or whatever. I'm not sure it will ever get that far. I can't see the rest, everyday general people standing up and accepting that far. If I'm honest, I can't imagine that people would start, just accept that as normal. I might be wrong, but I'm hoping that humanity is a better species than I give it credit for at the moment. That's for sure. I'm hoping there is a lot of goodness out there who will just not accept that and will rise, when it comes to that. It's a frightening thought. I don't really want to think of that far. If I'm honest, I'm hoping we stop it before it gets anywhere near there.
Yeah, I don't want to. If everything about New World Order is correct, they do want to get rid of 7 billion people off the planet Earth, and just leave 500 million left.
Well, yeah, 500 million is the number we've been quite. I've also heard 800 million. Whichever it is, that means they've got to get rid of 7 billion people, and I can't see how they could possibly get away with it. I really don't. I can't imagine 7 billion people are just going to roll over and die without a serious fight on their hands. I can't. I know there's a lot of people we call sheep out there who seem to oblivious to it all, but I can't imagine there's 7 billion people out there who are going to just roll over and die and accept it. You know, I don't. I can't see it.
James of the Isaac family, right? He's just said on YouTube. He said, "Why do they have crematoriums then if they're not going to use them, John? Right next door."
Well, the crematoriums are probably was already there.
Yeah,
We've
they
got
were.
crematoriums up and down the country, haven't we? We've got crematoriums up and down the country. There's one, the nearest one to us is in Hereford. People get carted off to the crematorium every day because there's not that many burials these days. And you've got to remember that Wellingborough is a huge built-up area. So they probably need a huge bloody crematorium to cope with daily death rates. And it just so happens to be by the land that they're building that prison as it's supposed to be. People putting two and two together and coming up with six. That's, if the crematorium was being built in the grounds at the same time, then yes, it might be questionable. But you'll find out that that crematorium has probably been serving that town and that area for years and years. And it just so happens that a plot of land has come up for sale close to the crematorium, and that was suitable for the prison. So, that's how I'm looking at that. Unless somebody can tell me that that crematorium has been built in them grounds of that prison and has been put there specially for the prison, I don't think that's the case. You'll find the crematorium's been there for years, and just happens, they needed a big plot of land, and the land come up, and it happened to be near a crematorium. That's my thinking of it.
Is it? Well, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring John Lawrence on as well, see what his take is on it.
Yeah, no.
Right, John.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. Well,
evening, John. Hope your mum's okay, brother. I see your mum was in hospital the other day. Is she okay?
She's lovely, thank you. She's lovely. They caught the early beginnings of a infection, but she's had a few and she's fought them off well. So
that's good to hear, brother.
Did I hear some sheep baaing in the background earlier?
You did, mate.
God, Shaun, I feel like, can you like that on the show, baaing in the background?
Unfortunately, John, I can't. I'm up in the hills, and the phone's shit in the cabin, so I had to come out into the field, and the sheep thought I was coming to feed them, but they're right down the other end now, so they've left me alone now.
I was getting excited there, John. Well, first of all, going to what Shaun says, how we're going to win, and we're not going to win with these big Saturday demos. We're not going to win with the Monday demos. We need action. So, I mean, really, I would say my action now is getting into local counselling, trying to change policies that way and stuff like that. It is working. More people are standing up to come forward like that. Or other than that, we do small actions and stuff like that, like to get media attention, do little demos like they've been doing against the Israeli arms factory in Oldham and stuff like that, because that's got on the news. That's got on the news. They need to do little proactive things like that and get out. But big demos, they're a waste of time. They are the opposition, the paid fucking diversion or whatever. It's great to go down and to meet up with people. It's good to have the nice day out with patriots and all that, but it doesn't get you nowhere. It really doesn't. It doesn't. I've never seen a demo like that get anywhere except for the Extinction Rebellion demos.
Well, they're put on by the government now, aren't they? Them. I mean, you see them Extinction Rebellion, now they can camp in the middle of the road, they can graffiti everywhere around with the chalk drawings and that, and they can stay 3 or 4 weeks and the police leave them alone. So the thing with that is because it's a climate chat thing, which is the next agenda they're going to push on us, or once they've finished with COVID and they've done the bit with that. Obviously, they're controlled, isn't it? And they're allowed to be where they are for as long as they deem fit. And of course, they get all the media attention, which you'll notice with them. They're plastered all over the news when they're down there, and yet us guys, we get nothing. Whether it be the veterans, whether it be the child abuse situation, whether it be traffic.
True, but if you remember, some activists, some of them Extinction Rebellion activists, and what they did, they went to an oil company headquarters or a bank headquarters, and they smashed all the windows in the bank headquarters. And then when they got to court, the court said, well, because you were doing it against them because they're causing global warming, will not convict you of anything. This is how far that they can go, to stuff like that. But I'm not saying we have to smash anything up, but I'm going to be very vocal, and when I get pushed, I'll push a little bit back, and I've always said that, and I have. I've gone and stepped over the line and said things that people just don't want to hear, but I'm saying them. You know what I mean? And it got a lot of attention off a lot of different people in Batley when I went up Batley because I persisted. I did a video every day. I called them out for how fake they were and everything, and nothing I said was made up. Everything I said to do with Batley.
Can we ask a question with Batley though, John? Right now, if I remember rightly, Labour held on to the seat in Batley. So you say that you were vocal and you yes, I watched all your videos and I was so proud of you. You spent the whole week there, but at the end of the day, brother, the result was still the same.
Yeah,
Labour took control of Batley, which is
small. We've got to start small. But the thing was I made myself vocal, and people knew I was there because they wouldn't have sent Channel 4 over to try and talk to me, the Muslim guy who called for calm after the kicking off to do with the teacher, he wouldn't have come over and said nothing to me. So I certainly made my stamp that I'm there, and I've said a few times on my videos that I might not end up being a councillor, but what I will be, I'll be in the count hall when my votes are being counted. And you can dare to mock me or try and intimidate me in the count hall, which will fail, right? And you're best off give me some respect, and you get some respect back, because people are not going to vote for you any longer. They're not. People's voting things are changing. We've got 167 local political parties, and in Oldham, in one area, the area where the Labour leader lived, he got kicked out by independents. They run that area now, and they're already starting to make changes in the area that wouldn't have happened under Labour. You know what I mean? So we have to start small. It's going to start small, but it'll get big.
right, John. The problem we've got at the moment, brother, with the current situation we've got. Now, I've always questioned the political route on the thing that, to be honest, it's probably going to take us, 20, 30 years to get control of all the councils and possibly Parliament going down the political route. So the question I've got, John, have we got 20 or 30 years to save ourselves?
Yeah, I think we have. I think we've got 20 or 30 years to save ourselves. I wouldn't go past any figure. Like, if I was thinking of a figure to save ourselves, I would say the David Coleman statistics of 2066. I'd say about 2060. If we haven't saved ourselves by then we're doomed for eternity. But I think we can do it. I think
so.
Politically will help, but I'm not. You know me, Shaun. I'm not knocking other routes out. I'm not knocking other routes. I'll go down the political route. But if you said to me that maybe we can work with common law to do something, I'll back you. You know me. It's not going to take just one area. It's going to take a range of different people of us, right, to get what we want. I'll fight my local council seat. You can fight by the law, the rule of law. Other people can fight that way. But I think we still have a chance to get there if we come together.
I think personally, right, John, is you standing for council, but I think standing for council after we taken the government down, so then we haven't got then it can't be fixed, it can't be corrupt. Do you mean? I don't think we haven't got 30 years to wait. That's a definite.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Phil. John just filled me with terror when he just said by 2066. Well, 2066 is my 100th birthday. John has just told me, right, that this country isn't going to be saved till I'm 100 years old. And I'll tell you what, there is no chance on this earth I will be still around by 2066.
By that time, that was a rough estimate.
Frightening thought, brother John. It's a frightening thought that we've got another 40 odd years. You know,
I'm only throwing in the David Coleman quote because that's what a professor at Oxford has said, is that by 2066, the white man will be outnumbered in England. I'm just quoting what an Oxford professor said. But no, you know, we've got to use a few different routes. I'm all right using different ways to get things done. I'm really proactive out there on the front line. Other people might be running for councillor, but they're not as active or out on the line. I can get people to vote differently, and that's what we want. Now, if we say that all voting's fixed, then the only way we're going to solve this is go in and have a French Revolution. And what I mean by that is we forcibly take the government and then people get killed. That's the only way we're going to do this. If you say that everything I says not right, we're not going to do it by this time, the only way we're going to do it is by a French Revolution. And are you prepared to go in, take Parliament by force, and then start chopping people's heads off? And that's what you don't tell me that you can take Parliament by force without killing anyone. No.
The thing is, John, right, there's lives being lost already, mate. So my life getting lost by getting our country back, I don't mind doing. I'm past the age of caring, really. I'm like 52 now, mate. And at the end of the day, I've got grandchildren, I've got children, and I want a life for them. So me losing my life, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I'm not particularly talking about yours, because I think everyone will agree with me. If they could get hold of Boris Johnson, now his head would be first to roll. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the collateral damage. French Revolution. They went in, they took the government down and killed all the upper classes. That's the only way we're going to ever get control of this country, unless we go through the voting route and all that lot. There's no other way. And besides Boris Johnson and all the top heads getting chopped, loads of us will lose our lives as well. That's the only other way. There's no, oh, well, we can do it this route, we can do it that route. It's either that way, the French Revolution way, or we get into the system, start at the big bottom, and with other things such as law, common law, this, that, and the other. I mean, I didn't know nothing. Shaun will tell you, I didn't know nothing about common law. I just know ignorant savage I was when it comes to common law. But I seen that it can be used to help us, and I seen the way that, and I went searching for it, and met Shaun. I met Shaun at his common law thing in Chester. And
yeah, the first time we met, brother, it was a horrible day, wasn't it? It was snowing, it was cold and miserable, and there was about 10 or 12 of us maximum. And you come with Joe, and we've been friends ever since.
We have. Yeah. What that was the beginning of me learning.
Yeah.
A bit more about my rights and things like that. And now when you see me with the police, no, you're not having my name. No, I don't have to move. I just say all these things automatically because...
Yeah, that's it. Well, I agree with one thing you said, John, that this war will not be won with one weapon only. So as much as I don't really like the political system, I do agree with you guys getting into the councils. Now, we've already got a few. We've got Keith Jenkins up in where he is. We've got Chrissy Morris, who is having great fun with his local council. So I agree with getting people in the councils and into Parliament at some point, but I also like that you've said that it's not going to win the war on its own. We're
Not
going
yet.
to have to use weapons from all different directions, which I've always said we won't win this war with one particular weapon. We'll need all the weapons at our
Of
disposal,
course, yeah,
including propaganda and
yeah.
all that. They use it, so we must use it, and we do. We're very successful at it. With
So, social media has given us a really good
yeah,
view.
the problem is, John, at some point they're going to take that off us,
Of
brother.
course, yeah. But
Well,
then
they already have, in a sense.
we get private media. There's a VK channel that's quite. I haven't seen any big bands on there. You can say Tommy all you want there or whatever you want and stuff like that. There will be other channels coming. We've just got to push for it and wake people up. And if I can change that, I 3 or 4 people think differently somewhere when I go there. I'm satisfied with that, and I know I'm making a start. And we've already seen that what they don't show you in that voting thing, whenever there's election, they never show you how well other areas are doing. And what in the past 2 or 3 general elections and local elections, what they haven't shown you is all these political parties. And all of a sudden they've come out saying there's 167 political parties. Now they're talking about independents coming in, breaking councils up. The first thing we have to do to these councils is break them up. They're under dominated control. You need it to the point where the ballot or what you're voting on, it's one vote off out of 20, not like 22 for and 1 against. And we're breaking these councils up. But if we can go down the common law or the rule of law route as well, we have to use that. That works well in certain situations. We need more support though of major people, like when Jared Batten was leader of UKIP, he never talked about common law, but he did books about it. And I don't believe we've got enough support within Parliament to do with common law. So we need to work
That
on.
was always a question about Gerald, wasn't it, John?
Yeah.
That he wrote a book on the Constitution, and yet on the public platform, he never once spoke about common law, did he? Not once.
No.
In all the times we seen him up and down the country, and I met him, I interviewed him once on a video, and had a chat with him, like, and yeah, and that was always a question: why not?
Yeah, and as well, I mean, I've heard this off you. I've certainly heard this off you and a few others. What they're not, we don't know the language. They're trying to. Oh, yeah, you don't need to bother with this. We'll deal with this side, but we do need to know that language, because that language is going to help us fight for our rights here. And we don't know that they're being taught a different sort of language under our noses. You know what I mean? And we need to.
Black Law's Dictionary, isn't it? That's the one to get, because what they say, it's like we've always said about the police. When they ask a normal everyday person, do you understand? What most people think is that you are being asked, do you understand what's going on and what they're trying to think? But no, they're not saying that. What they're actually saying, are you standing under my authority? When they ask that question, do you understand? You know what I mean? Most people will say, well, yes or no. Yeah, I understand that. But what they don't realise is you're actually being asked if you stand under their authority. And of course, we guys know that. So when they say to someone like me, Phil, or you, do you understand? We say, well, no, we don't stand under anybody, like, especially not you. Yeah, and but that's the problem is, and of course, I think Dictionary is the best one to give you their terms, what they use against you,
Like I said, Shaun, like me and Joel didn't know nothing about common law, but we've seen that it's something we do need to know about and stuff like that. And it is complicated, but just take it one step at a time. I know a girl in Oldham, 3 years ago, she's asked me about the birth certificate change and stuff like that. So, and she's getting really confused. Just take it one step at a time. Work on your birth certificate. Then I got in contact with Angela Verdun, is it?
Yeah, Angela is a good gal. If you want any information like that, she'll send you everything you need.
I got
Yeah.
loads of stuff off Angela for her to start studying, and 3 years later, she's a common law expert, or knows a lot more than me. Now I won't say she's an expert, but she's very well read. She's done all the things. She's done all the birth certificate things. She's looked into other things to do with common laws, helped her in a normal life. Just take it one step at a time. It's only took her 3 years. You know what I mean? It's only took her 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of us are learning that. Like I said, I'm learning more now how to deal with the police. When they we want your name. You can't video here. Well, I can because it's a public place. There's nothing locked off or private, so I can film here, do whatever I want. And obviously, I wasn't going too bad with them. And in Newcastle, he said, well, you can't start filming. The demo doesn't start till 2 o'clock. You know that. And I said, I've said that on my video that I've just done here, that you can't stop me doing. You know, I'm learning. So, you know, but yeah, we need all the weapons at hand. We need the axe. We need our shield. We need an helmet. We need a bit of kit. Now, whatever they represent, the shield might be common law. The sword might be the local councils and stuff like that. We need to come together, use all them things, and sort the scene out.
Well, that sounds all very promising, and John, I just hope, brother, that we normal everyday working class people can pull it together. But I'm still at the opinion that we haven't got 40, 50 years. It's, you know, the immediate problem we've got now is that obviously on a personal life thing is the vaccine passports, and the fact that they could make it impossible to even buy your food unless you're willing to take part in this medical experiment. You know, that is a frightening thought.
They're doing that in France already.
Yeah, France and Israel have already got them implemented. And it's a frightening thought that we might not be able to even go and buy ourselves a bag of sugar or a bottle of milk or, you know, a bag of spuds, you know, or something so simple, unless you're willing to roll up your sleeve and take a chance with the kill shot, which is,
you know, coming to COVID, like the thing is, I know how everyone thinks of COVID and all that, like, but we're already, especially in this past 20 years, increased our risk to foreign diseases and viruses and things like that. How do I know this? Because we eradicated TB at one time, and now
it's prevalent in the UK.
It's starting to rise in now, and I wouldn't think twice about the government bringing all this COVID thing in to do restrictions because they know that that's going on as well. Honestly, I won't put it past them. I'm just saying, and I've talked about these viruses right at the very early days of COVID. I talked about them and said they're already here. We've increased our chances by so many percent with mass immigration that we've had in the past 20 years. I'm not talking about the immigration going back to the 1950s. Just this 20 years.
When Tony Blair, since 97, this has all come about since Tony Blair. He's the catalyst to all that, I believe. In most of what's happened, it's down to him and his policies and the way they sort of run government when they were in.
You mean the war criminal?
Yeah, right. The war criminal, Tony Blair, who's now a peace envoy, which is the most pathetic thing you could ever think. How can you make a man who invaded the Middle East a fucking peace envoy to the Middle East?
Yeah, you know, Tony Blair, can you explain this to me, Shaun? So, Tony Blair, right, he went into the Iraq war, false pretenses or whatever, and he went into it. But it wasn't him and all parliaments, but he can't just turn around and say, we're going to war. Everyone's got to agree with him. So everybody in parliament agreed with him that we're going to war, so that all the Conservatives, all the Liberals, everyone agreed with him that we're going to war. Then we went to war. And he just said,
thingy though, wasn't it, John? Basically, they lied to everybody, including the MPs, for the reasons of going. Obviously, we were all told that there was weapons of mass destruction which could wipe out the world within 3 hours or something. And that was what he sold, him and George Bush Jr. sold to the MPs and the people. That's how they got the permission to do it. And it's probably a case, I mean, by the sound of it, the most MPs in Parliament don't actually read the fucking paperwork and the things that they're asked to question on. I mean, when us normal guys have asked MPs about certain things in the Corona Act, they haven't got a fucking clue. And it, you know, they're sort of in there bolting on these issues, but they don't read in depth of the issues and that. And obviously, with the Iraq war, it was all sold on the fact that Saddam had all these weapons of mass destruction which could wipe out the world in hours. And that's what it was sold. And of course, they bought it, didn't they? But it was only afterwards that when they went in and there was no weapons of mass destruction that it all become apparent that it was one big lie.
Yeah. Going back to your revolution, you're on about the French Revolution. I don't think we need to go down the road of cutting their heads off.
Go on.
I think we need to lock them up for life.
Right, so we'll lock them up for life. That isn't going to, Phil, that isn't going to go. If we forcibly take Parliament and get control of the country, people's heads are going to roll. Throughout all of time, every dictator.
You can't say that. You can't say that on a live, mate.
Right, I know, but all right. Let's look at history. Throughout all of history, when the peasants uprise, what happens? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
You just name me an incident where the peasants have uprose and it's not happened. Just tell me one society.
Yeah, mate. We just got to watch.
Honestly, but that people give me only that choice to answer back to. Now, if someone said voting's rigged, this, that, and the other, well, we have to change that, Phil. And when I'm in the voting thing, if my seal isn't correct on that box I've checked at the voting polling station, I'm going to be kicking off. And that's the start of change. They can't be as untransparent, and stuff like that. It can't happen. And,
you can't be at every voting box, mate. At the end of the day,
listen. Daniel's running in Barnsley, and his area there was 5 polling stations that he had to get seal numbers off. And under normal circumstances, you can have up to 10 vote agents. So he would have covered all them voting stations. I went in a voting station at 10 o'clock at night when they finished and watched him seal the box. He put the seal on 3 times, failed to get it on twice, Shaun, a cable tie. He failed to get it on twice. He bent it round and he didn't have it on the clicky part. And he did that twice in front of me. Then he sealed it on the last bit and he went. Because I was going on about the box being sealed. So when we got to the vote hall and the woman started to open the boxes, she didn't ask anyone if they wanted to see seals. We was there all the way. I was watching the boxes come past me and trying to look at the seals on them. And she never asked. And then I put my hand up and then I went over and checked the seals on our boxes. So you can make a difference. Honestly, you can.
So what about postal votes then?
Right. Postal votes is a bit different, but we just need to tighten it up. Them postal votes they must have all gone to the post office, right? So why can't they be sealed there instead of coming in empty bags and things like that? Postal voting. So the post office would be well aware of what they were looking for, and then they send them to the postal office, and then we don't know this. I don't know, but is there any security at the postal office who checks these? I don't think there is. We can get somebody in there. We can get somebody to check these, and that's how. So you've got to be careful of that. Postal voting fraud is big in Oldham, and I can talk a lot about it. But the main thing is breaking up the councils having full control over things. If you've got a council that's 90% Labour, you're going to get away with a lot. And that got shown in Rotherham, where the council was over 90% Labour. Things are going missing, computers are going missing and stuff like that. That wouldn't have happened if the council would have been more broken up. If it was 50% Labour, 40% Conservative, 10% Independent, they wouldn't have been able to get away with them things. And we've left it for these big parties to run. The big parties have got to be our focal for breaking them down. They have. And if we look at them, they are being brought down. They're already splintering off into splinters. And Labour are losing a lot of traction where they used to dominate, things like that. So things are changing. Things are changing.
Yeah, I'm still concerned with the polling booths. People going to do their votes, the postal votes. What we saw with Khan running for mayor, he was actually 2,000 votes behind, and he ended up winning. As soon as the postal votes started coming in.
Well, it wasn't the same for Trump in America. I mean, the postal votes in America was shocking. And the proof is all out there now that Trump won this election, and yet the election was allowed to stand. And Biden is full steam ahead as an American president and doing exactly what he wants. So, and the thing with the boxes, John, it's all right having the seal on a box, right? Now, you say that it was a cable tie, right? So, cable ties can be bought from any hardware store and supermarket in the country.
Cable tie seal. It had a tag on it. It was all one thick cable tie.
What I'm saying is, once them boxes are put into a back of a van and drove off, right? Because I know that's what they do. They pick them up from different polling stations and they're took to the local count. Yeah. So what is to stop somebody being in the back of that van, cutting the tags off, changing the ballots, and then putting a new tag on, which might look the same?
We can look into that, and as candidates and stuff like that, we can get people into positions that do them sort of things. We can get people in positions of the polling stations, local members of the community, because one of the polling stations near him was like an old biddy area, right? And there was an old biddy person there, you know what I mean, who probably lived in the same area, who run that thing as well, and they were there. So we can get people in to do this. It's just that what we're doing, we're going on the big demos and not doing enough action. So, you know, we need to like focus on our other things. I'll focus on my political local council route, and then other people focus on. Don't go all to big demos together. Go and get something done. If a common law person's at a demo and someone like me, it's no good. Meant to be doing separate things, but you can get people in to do all these things. We can push for more change in the electoral system, you know what I mean? Because in Peterborough now, you watch in Peterborough, there's going to be changes to do with the electoral system in the country because of Peterborough, because Peterborough has been highlighted. They haven't said yet, but you watch the Electoral Commission and things will start to change eventually because of what's going on. And they'll have to look into it more because there's more independents coming in. And I mean, I'm no fan of George Galloway's politics, but everything he says about that count, I agree 100%. I do, honestly. I agree 100%. He's got money. And he's already making issues with the Electoral Commission, and he's got backing as well. So he's going to push for change. And if he can push for change, so can we. So can we.
Yeah, but every system's there's going to be a backdoor in for abuse. Even with your tags and that, it's nothing stopping them to having a duplicate and just put it in on. It's so simple ideas.
Yeah, I agree, but that's where, you know, like we don't know enough about the system. Like I said, I don't know if there's any kind of security at the post office where all the postal votes go to. I don't know that because I've never been in that situation. But getting into the council, I can find out this information. I can ask questions. Except, hang on a minute, what happens to postal votes when I get to the post office? Is there a security man there? No, there isn't. Well, why isn't there? Why isn't there? Well, there should be. We don't know. I don't know if there's one there. But just making that kind of change and statement is what I'm going to do in the local councils, and they'll have to be more transparent. I mean, this is a general lot of things that things have to be more transparent now, even though we might get hoodwinked into thinking they're not. They are. Otherwise, we would have never known about the expenses scandal, right? That was big. But things have to become more transparent. You can get hold of a lot of data that can show you a lot of things, and all the data is online to do with voting. And I've told you the past few years of general elections and councils, all the data is online to show you that people are changing the vote. But the main parties just stick on to blue, red and green, blue, red and green, blue, red and green. That's all they're bothered. They don't want to show you what's going on. But all that data is freely available, honestly. So things are changing slowly, but they are. So I'll fight my battle here. Phil can fight the battle as a media man, and then Shaun can fight the battle on the common law side. Boom.
I think Shaun's. Are you there, Shaun?
I am. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm taking it all in.
Well, I think
I still don't think the political route is the way to go, John. But you've got my support 100% with that, brother. And I did say numerous years ago, what we need in Parliament is 650 independents and do away with the main parties. So you're sort of on the right sort of line in a sense. It's just I'm worried that the time constraints we've got are not going to allow us to have change through the political route. I still believe we have to take them down before and then implement the change once they've been took down. I'm not sure we've got the time to do it down that route. If I'm honest, it's the time I'm worried about. It's if we had 50 years, I'd be a bit more happy. But we haven't got 50 years, unfortunately. And I said that with the common law courts as well. They at one stage we wanted everybody under Article 61, and I said that with the percentage numbers of people who are under Article 61, to actually get the balance in our favour would take 30 to 50 years. And we haven't got 30 or 50 years. So that's always my worry with the political side, with the common law side, with all these sides, is the time constraints are against us, because we haven't got years and years to solve this problem. We've got months pretty much. So that's my only concern.
There's David Coleman's links in the chat there through the Independents, 2066. So that's Shaun 100th birthday. So that is going to be that's got to be the time that I think we've got till, but Shaun thinks earlier. So I think by the time Shaun's 100, we'll have sorted it out, but Shaun thinks earlier.
I hope earlier, John. If I'm sitting here now in this lovely field and I'm thinking, it'll all be sorted by the time I'm 100, I think I'd fucking hang myself from one of these trees right now.
Yeah, going back to Monday, lads. Right, when they brought all these riot police in, right, we already blocked the roads. We were doing the job, but the job was actually meant to be at Parliament gates and going through Parliament gates. Now, what these distractions do, like speakers and...
It was not, Phil, was it? It was always advertised as a let's be nice to the police and get the police on side. They were never going into Parliament on Monday. They wasn't. Yeah. They were never going.
But there were so many distractions, mate. And when the riot police came down, the only reason why those riot police come down It was for a distraction, so you couldn't get to Downing Street because Whitty and the other numpty was on there, and Boris was in Checkers on a live to stop anybody going up to Downing Street because they were shit scared of what happened the last time.
Yeah, I can't believe you never. I mean, at that point, right, what I could see on the videos, there was the police in the middle, and then you had the public either side of them.
Yeah.
But away from Downing Street. And I was shouting on the video, just push through the fuckers and get to Downing Street and rattle them fucking gates.
Yeah.
Not, you know, and possibly get over the fucking gates and sit in that fucking street. And again, it was advertised as Parliament for the whole day, but they wasn't there at Parliament the whole day. So
there was more politicians in Downing Street.
It was a wasted opportunity.
It was. Because what they had done in the day, mind, before the start of their demo, they'd blocked off around the back of Whitehall. Do you mean where the park is? They blocked all that road off just so they could escape. But obviously there was a few politicians in there, and that was our chance. We could have gone into Downing Street, and we did have the numbers to do it, because the last Monday, the last demo, they actually shit themselves at Downing Street when the tennis balls were thrown, and people had started moving the barriers. Then that's when the riot police just shit themselves. We had a chance. All we had to do is push through the gate, go over the gate, mate. And if they started shooting us, they'd be shooting their own police force, because we just keep the police force next to the gate. So, do you mean handcuff them to the gate? So if they're going to start shooting us, they're going to end up shooting their own police. It's simple. Do you mean?
Well, I've got to admit, a couple of nights before that, everybody, do you know Frank up in Manchester? John will know Frank. Frank is a funny character, and I tell you what, the idea he come up with, I think it was Friday or Saturday night, I thought to myself, Frank, brother, for once you've got a good idea here. And he suggested just grinding the fucking gates open and walking in and sitting down in Downing Street en masse.
Yeah.
And I love Frank to death, but he's a bit of a character. He's Frank. But for once, I think he hit the nail on the head. He was willing to go there with a grinder and grind the bloody lock off the gate, and then just push the gates open and just sit on the floor en masse for as long as it took. And I thought that was not a bad idea, actually. You know, and obviously that didn't happen. But for once, I thought, nice one, Frank. I like that idea, brother.
Yeah, definitely, mate. That's they could have done it with Parliament as well, mate. To be honest with you, it's not that hard. A pair of bolt cutters, like Lisa said, and you're straight in, mate. So it's difficult, mate. It has to be down. I can't see it being any other way. It can't be peaceful anymore. It's got to be direct action. I know.
More robust, I always say.
Yeah.
That's more robust.
French Revolution. French Revolution.
No, John, we don't want a full-on revolution. I mean, in a civil war. I think a lot of us understand, like you say, we don't want bodies on the street, do we? We got to keep the people on side. I do say that to people. We have to keep the general public on side, whatever we decide to do. So we've got to be seen to do it in the right light.
Iceland did the right.
Political is the right light.
Iceland did it the right way, mate. They made all the politicians resign.
Iceland's a little tiny country compared to ours. They haven't got nothing like the history or the empire that we had, and the power and all that. No, honestly, if you want to do things by force, it's going to end up French Revolution. I can't see it any other way, me. That's the extreme of it, but that's my. I've said it a few times. That's my personal thing. You know, we don't want to see it, but some heads will roll.
Yeah, probably mine. I'll probably have a knock on the door now. If you come to cart me off. All right, then, John. What? Explain where you went on Saturday.
Blackpool Saturday. Blackpool it were. Unity for our children. I was dressed up in Fleury, Jimi Hendrix jeans.
Yeah, Jimmy.
70s poppy shirt and an afro wig and red John Glennon glasses.
I did say to you, didn't I, when you was at camp, John? I said I want you to go out on one of your demos like that, and you did it. I said to my missus on Saturday when I seen the video, I said, "Look what John's done. He's gone to Blackpool in his Jimi Hendrix get up on South Place."
And it was good, really good demo. We had Justice for Jace, a young lad sexually abused in Scotland by someone from Manchester who's never been held to account and he's committed them crimes as well before. So we met Jace's mum, and we've already met the grandma at Manchester a couple of weeks ago, and already they're standing up to say things that they would never have done before. They would never, everyone says when they go up on a platform, I don't speak. I never thought I'd have to sit, for years and stuff like that. I might make it look easy or Phil, but it does take something. And they spoke to us, and it was lovely. They were lovely, and we're hoping to get to Glasgow, to St George Square in on the demo on the 8th, which is in August, the end of August, and support them up there. And we had a few others. We had Rihanna. There's a couple of stories that we've already heard, but these people were there, and it's hard work when you listen to the speeches. Bobby and Joseph always chokes when he's speaking, and no, I can't help but choke as well. And also, I got a chance to meet Charlene Downs' mum. Karen Downs came down. So I had a little chat with her, and she remembered, because I had spoke to her before on Facebook. She did actually remember. And so, yeah, it was a really good demo. And when I got down there, the first person I seen was Rita, and she was with Jace's mum. And she wasn't nowhere near where the demo was. She walked down the promenade to one of the piers, handing out leaflets. That's Rita for you. Not scared, not afraid to hand out leaflets or walk away and stuff like that. So a lot of leaflets were handed out. So hopefully we've raised awareness in the area. After the demo, I was contacted by people in Blackpool who wanted to speak. Honestly, yeah, and so it was a great demo, really lovely day, good speakers. Pag UK and Billy were down. Ian got up. Ian is Ellie Reynolds' dad, and Ellie Reynolds spent 3 years of being blamed for something that was nothing to do with her, and it's covering up abuse in the Barrow and Cumbria area. As we know, with evidence has come out that there's more stuff going on up there. So yeah, and I mean, we like Ian. He's ex-veteran as well. And what I like about Ian, he says the names of the people involved in the cover-up. That's the main thing. He says them people's names. He's not afraid to say them people's names as well. You know what I mean? That's what we need to stand up a little bit like that, because I don't blame everyone, but people sometimes will not say a thing or not say people's names when they're involved, and they need to be called out. All these people do. So great demo, and we're looking forward to getting to Glasgow as well about it.
Yeah, Jim the Act was there as well. The girl,
Sharon Bing. So can I just talk quick about
Sharon? Sharon's won a court case today, John.
Yeah. So 2019, Sharon was with us. Me and Joe got section dispersal orders, and Sharon got arrested and they falsely arrested her. There was physically violent with her, and she ended up being in court. When we got to court, when she finally got to court over the incident with the police, nothing happened because there were no evidence brought by the police. So she's gone on taking them to court and won a case. So hopefully she gets some damages. And Sharon's just come through cancer and lost one of her pins as well, half a pin. So
yeah.
But,
yeah, it was good to see today win that court case. I watched the video before I come back up here tonight. Actually, I'd been tagged in it, and it was great to see that she's won that case. And like you say, get some damage. She's a great, probably one of the best. I always say one of our top 3 ladies in our movement.
Definitely.
Wonderful woman. Again, somebody I've worked closely with and known for 4 years now, maybe. Just a great girl. So that was great news to hear that today.
Yeah, Sharon on Saturday, I didn't have to do no work with interviewing the PC Kim and Adele from BC.
I watched that as well today. I got because again the girls Kim, Billy, and Adele and that they done a great job. And they look like they enjoyed themselves up in Blackpool as well. So
yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah,
definitely.
Lovely.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go camping tomorrow night. I'm going to join the PCP Wales family and going to have a night out with them. So it should be fun. They're good girls.
Good, Phil. I know I've seen something from them today, and it looks like they're having a lovely time where they are. And I did see your comment where you were. I think it was the food what got you, wasn't it, Phil? They were serving up the food, which looked very nice. So yeah, you're gate crashing it tomorrow, are you, Phil? Nice one, bro. Nice one.
Yeah, I haven't decided where I'm going to go on Saturday yet, mind. I should go to the PDSD camp and then go from there to a demo, either Cardiff or Birmingham. But I'm still on the edge of going to London, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I've got to work on Saturday. I've got to sort the tree out, so I'm busy grabbing money at the moment because I need to fill my pockets up if I'm going to have to do a runner.
Well, yeah, Welsh Blonde is in. I knew who that is. She's in Cardiff. That's Jill Harris. She's all right. She's one of my admin. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm still undecided where I want to go. Like I do really want to go to London, and then Cardiff is local to me, and Birmingham is. I got people. I know people going to all these demos, so I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, I think it will lined up, Phil, before Friday, brother.
I'll have to make it up tomorrow, mate.
What day is it tomorrow? I've lost track of days. Is it Thursday, isn't it, tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday tomorrow. I have to make it up tomorrow because if I'm going to London, I normally go on a Friday.
Yeah.
So, do you mean? I can always go to camp on the way back down. I'm unsure yet. I'm unsure what to do. So, are you doing it?
Nice to have a choice, I suppose.
No, not really, mate. It just makes life a little bit awkward. Yeah, definitely. I do want to go to the PDSD camp because I haven't been down there for about 4 weeks. So
yeah, one guy there. I actually was there last weekend, actually on Saturday, but not for long. 3 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And then we had to.
I want to go. Oh.
Well, I saw Joe, and I saw Joe yesterday. I missed Dion.
Oh, is she still there? Because she was there yesterday as well as Monday. So
yeah, she was actually. Well, Dion,
isn't he?
Yeah, Joe and Dion were there today covering the Gurkhas. Now,
I think that Dion did a bit of a speech, didn't he? I do believe.
No. Well, he was doing a live. He was. Yeah, and he put it onto the PDSD camp group. But he started the live off with Welcome to yeah. Thank you for watching. It's Phil. It's Phil here. He did. So I've offered it, and he done really well. So what if I want a week off? Dion can do all my live feeds.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that with you, Phil. Obviously, years ago, I used to go everywhere, live feeds everywhere. And now I'm at the sort of thought, well, it's all right because I know Phil's there, so he'll do a good job.
Yeah.
It means I don't have to run down to London every fucking 5 minutes these days. Yeah, you know, because you do such a great job, but I feel like it can ease it off me a bit, you know, because I mean, for 3.5 years, I was pretty much every week, everywhere, and it was exhausting, like, you know. So it's nice that young Phil is able to run around and do such a great job, where I
Phil,
haven't got the pressure to do it myself. Well, he's younger than me, John. Most people are younger than me these days in the movement.
Yeah, thanks for that, Shaun. But I was taught by the best, mate. I was taught by the best.
Well, I wouldn't say the best, but you did have a good teacher. I wouldn't say the best, but you did have a good teacher. I'm not going to deny that.
It's all about research beforehand, because you can't go spouting your mouth off something you don't know.
Well, and being in the right place at the right time as well. Obviously, when you're filming the day, it's important to get the action of the day, isn't it? And what's going on, and get a feel for, you know, so that you can show the audience the truth of what's happening. And you do that. You do a great job at it. So you know, I mean, that's how I look at us. We're reporters, and our job is to report what's going on wherever you be. You know, whether it be in Blackpool, London, Manchester, whatever the occasion is, whatever the highlighting the issues. Like, I don't call them demos and protests. We're highlighting the issues, in my view. Yeah, you know,
A peaceful assembly.
well, I've always said highlighting the issues, so that's how I stick it. You say peaceful assembly, some say protesting demos. I think we're long past protesting and demoing these days. We're highlighting the issues which the media refuse to do. That's why I say highlighting the issues, because the media should be doing this, but they're not. So we've had to take up the mantle of the media, really, highlighting these issues for the general public to know about. Because once you know about it, then you're more likely to stand up and fight against it than if you don't know about it, where you're not going to stand up against something you don't know what's happening, do you?
Yeah, that's right.
So that's how I look at it. Like, we're highlighting the issues so that the general public know what's going on, and then that brings people in to the movement who want to stop these things happening.
Yeah, so definitely that I found a replacement for myself when I do need a holiday, and that's definitely.
Well, I felt like that, Phil, when I bumped into you, brother. You know, and that it was the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll find someone who can step into my shoes as and when needed and do a good job.
Yeah, Dion don't know yet, mind.
Well, I'll leave you to tell him that. I won't say nothing to him.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I am going to wrap it up now, because we've been on here an hour and a half now, near enough. But I lost it a little bit on Monday, so I've got a little 6-minute video of me losing it with the police. So I'm gonna put that up now.
Why did you lose it a bit? What for that?
Well, I went because they pulled in the riot police. The riot police came marching down like the Gestapo they are, in like blocks of 20, 30 of them, and there was like 9 blocks. I could see them coming towards the protesters. So obviously I was calling them, Timmy, this ain't fucking communist China now. I was swearing all the time. I was effing this, effing that. and I was having a right pop with them. I wouldn't take no prisoners, mate.
I'm
No,
surprised you didn't get a left arm in the paddy wagon, mate.
well, I thought that as well, but watching it back, I thought, well, how comes I didn't get arrested then?
Yeah,
They already had it planned. They were going to pull people out of the crowd and jump on them, basically. That's
well,
what it
isn't
was.
that what they always do, Phil? I mean, it's not unusual, is it? I mean, they've done that for years. Like, it's not a new thing, is it? I'm always quite shocked that people are shocked that the riot van, the TSG guys, conduct themselves like they do, because they've always done it. They're no
Yeah,
different to what they was, when we were fighting Brexit and that.
yeah, but half of them are trained in Israel, Sean. You know,
Well, that's an obvious, isn't it? That they've had specialist training. Probably most are ex-military who end up in the TSG. So they've got that kind of training, isn't they? But it doesn't shock me one little bit. Like, I'm shocked that people are shocked by it myself, because that's the system for you, isn't it?
yeah, that's right. John, have you got anything else to say before we go?
We've got Voice of Wales demo at the end of July, Media City in Manchester. So it'll be really interesting. Getting to know everyone, the Stan and the lads, and hopefully them PCP girls might be there, and Phil and all of Manchester lot will be there. Rita, Mank Dave will all be there. Jimmy the App probably. So that'll be good at the end of the month. So that'll be really good. That's in Manchester at Media City.
Yeah, that's a road show by the Voice of Wales. Danny Roscoe is going to be speaking on that one as well. So you're probably going to get some Black and White Unite fans as well. Who will probably turn up to that one. I am going to that one anyway. So hopefully Katie can put me up. We'll see.
Well, every time I go there, when I start my stream off, if there's someone else's demo there, first of all, I have my rants at the BBC first, and I always call out Yasminira Khan and Katie Razzle for reporting on me in not a good light. And I always stand there and I give it them first, then tell the security I want them to see them. Stand about talking about Jimmy Savile and how the BBC covered up paedophilia in all areas, how they play down media things against paedophilia. I do all that first, then I join the demo.
Nice one, John. That's the way, brother.
Yeah, I think we're going to be paying Tent City a little visit as well, aren't we? We'll see. We'll see. Because what they did to Jimmy the App, what they've said about him, what they've said about Voice of Wales, what they've said about other people, what they did with that young lad on a live, and those sick comments.
Yeah,
I think they do really need to pay a visit and get a grip on life, I think. So it should be fun. I'm gonna wrap it up now. Thanks both for joining me tonight. Awesome as ever, you bet. And
glad to be of assistance, brother.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Yeah, and thanks to my admin as well. They've just been amazing as well, making sure there's no trolls on here. So thanks, Nat.
Do you cut out the trolls like me, dear? Nice one.
Well, they can only do it on live news and demo news on the page and on YouTube. That's the only way.
Yeah.
So,
well, you're lucky you have admins to do all that. I have to do all that myself as I'm going.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty quick at spotting them, and then they're gone in seconds. That's the way. You don't need them on there.
Yeah, that's right, mate. You don't need them at all. Like,
can I just thank everyone for my wishes for my mum as well on the other day. She had a couple of days in hospital, nothing too serious. Whatever she had, we caught at the very beginning. She's fine now, and she's back home. But thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, honestly.
That's great to hear, John, that you've got her own, brother. She's better off at home with you than she is in them hospitals.
Certainly, certainly.
All right then. Yeah, and thanks to everybody for watching and sharing. Yeah, you've been amazing as ever. Okay, I'm gonna finish off with a video in a minute. I'll take. Yeah, let's put that on, and then let's see if I can get this technology to work.
Well, I'm going to say good night, guys. Take care. God bless, and keep doing what you're doing. And see you guys when I see you, no doubt, at some point. All right,
Yeah.
guys. But I'm going to watch this video, so I'm not going to leave till I've watched this video.
All right, then. Here we go, then. Good night, all. See you next Wednesday. Please join Live News and Demo News, the page and the group. Also, if you can jump on Demo Welshman on YouTube, you can see all my latest videos, which I'm going to be updating over the next couple of days of what happened Monday and what happened in Blackpool. So all have a good evening, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.
You need to stand down. You need to stand down. Stand with the people. Yeah, you can wave your hands. Paedophile protectors, that's all you are. Wankers. Look at this lot. Communist fucking China. Communist China. Stand down, for fuck's sake. Stand with the people. You're a bunch of muppets. You lot of you. Carrying your weapons, your pepper spray. Think you're on, men. Take your fucking suits off and fucking stand with the people. Fucking bunch of idiots. Muppets. The whole fucking lot of you. Muppets. 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 Yeah, you can fucking do that. If your children are going to get vaccinated, you fucking fool. You're a dick. The whole fucking lot of you. Look at this lot without the fucking mask on. That lot with mask on. Absolute idiots. Absolute idiots. Stand down. Fucking stand down. You're inciting the violence. Nobody else is. Bunch of muppets. Fools. The whole lot of you. Fucking. The TSG getting bored. Did you hear that, folks? What a bunch of muppets. Stand down. This is the general public who pay your wages. Idiots. Right, folks.
Where's your right? Where's your right? Where's your right?
Folks. If it was BLM, you wouldn't be doing this, would you? BLM or Extinction Rebellion? No, you wouldn't, would you? You're a bunch of cowards. Cowards with weapons. That's all you are. This is the people. You fucking wankers. Stand with the people instead against them. Oh, they're fucking laughing. Fucking idiots. The whole fucking lot of them. But, bunch of fucking idiots. Fucking hard with their fucking sticks. See what they're doing, folks? See what they're doing?